Hello wonderful people, it's Wild here. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this mini medieval house. This quaint medieval house would be the perfect starting point for a cozy medieval village, and once you've got the supplies, can be built in under 20 minutes. I'll be showing you step by step how to create this build, so even though it's got plenty of detail, it is going to be easy to create. Let's get building. The materials you'll need for this build are on your screen now. Keep in mind that we've created some texture in the walls of this build, so where an item is listed alongside a couple others, that's the total number you'll need as a mixture of those supplies. Here is the outline for today's build. It is a 7x9 rectangle with a space at the center front for a door and on the left hand back wall there. We've also got the location of the chimney on the right hand side, and then 2 posts marked in 5 blocks away from the side wall and 3 blocks apart. We're going to begin by creating the foundation of the build out of tough, mossy cobblestone and cobblestone, just building 1 layer high, creating a randomized texture of these materials all the way around the build. The more of the mossy cobble and the tough you use, the more aged this build will look. So I'm just using a little bit of cobblestone here and there. There we go, I've left the space at the center front for the door and the one at the back. You can see the space at the back is 2 blocks in from the back wall. Now I'm going to take some spruce logs and create some framing. So in each corner I'm going to build up 4 high. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm also going to build up 4 high in the center of the 2 long sides, so that's 3 in from the front 2 posts. Just like this, and then I'm going to connect all of these posts up around the perimeter. At the back and front, I'm going to add in an extra log sticking out from either post and then one in the center. And then on this left-hand side towards where we have this covered section, I'm going to add in 2 more logs here and here. I'm going to add 2 logs on top of both of our post locations, so you can see they're 3 blocks apart from each other and 5 blocks away from the main wall. I'm going to add in some beams now for the interior of the build, going all the way across the center, both directions. And then in the center of the 2 shorter walls, I'm going to build up 5 high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll add 2 logs sticking out of both of these. Here's how all of this framing should be looking. I've cleared out the floor now so I can add in my floorboards. I'm using strip spruce logs here, but if you're in survival and would like a more cost-effective option, you could absolutely just use spruce planks. I like the look though of these larger floorboards. I'm making sure they all run the same direction. There we go. While I'm down here, I'm going to add in 2 waxed copper lanterns, and then I can go ahead and start filling in these panels with my dark oak slabs. I'm just going to leave 1 space at the front next to this post for a ladder to go in later. There we are. Now we can start filling in all of our walls. I'm going to start on the center front wall. So I've got my waxed copper door going in the middle, and then I'm using a mixture of bricks, sand and sandstone to create an aged appearance. The smooth sandstone is my main wall material. Then I've got here some sand, which I'm going to use as a transition block, and then my bricks to add in some texture as if the wall render has worn away. So you can see how I'm focusing the sand around where I've got the bricks. And as this is a natural aging process, it doesn't matter if your walls look exactly the same as mine. Every wall is going to look a little bit different. So you can always make adjustments as you build. Coming around to the right hand side, we're going to have a window on the front panel, so I'll add in 2 light stained glass panes in the center, and then I'll just follow on with the same process, adding in my materials to create an aged appearance. The more of the brick and sand you add, the older your build will look. This wall is going to have the chimney in front of it, so you need to keep that in mind and use slightly less bricks here, as we're going to be using brick all for the front of the chimney. So I'm just going to add in a little bit of brick up in the top corner and use mostly my smooth sandstone and sand. Let's add in 1 brick in that corner there. Just like that. Around at the back wall, we're going to have 1 window as well. I'm going to place it off to the right hand side when looking from the back, and I'm just adding it 1 block away from the post and 2 blocks high. Then I can go ahead and add in my texture. If you create today's build, be sure to join my Discord server and share some pictures. I would love to see how this build looks in your world. Just like this. Onto the left hand side, we've got a door going in here, so let's place that in, and then I'll add in my blocks. And we've got a window on this wall as well, so I'll place in my 2 glass. And finally, my last few bricks. Perfect. For the 2 tall gable walls, I'm going to use the same materials to create some small L shapes. So 2 blocks out and then 3 blocks high. There should be 2 blocks from the top of that center post. And we're almost ready to add in the roof, but we're first going to add in the chimney. So I'm going to come down to the base here. For the base of this chimney, I'm going to build 2 high with brick, 1 forward and 1 towards the back. Then I'm going to take some mud bricks and place 1 on top of these 2 locations and 1 over to the side. Next, I've got some granite stairs, which I'll place on top, and then some brick stairs to create a curved shape like this. I've got a brick wall going on top of this block and then a granite wall in here. And you can see why we don't want to have too many bricks in that back wall, otherwise it would be a little bit too much. Now we're going to work on the part of the chimney above the roof line. I'm going to start by finding the center of my chimney point and placing in a mud brick. Then I'm going to add in a granite on top of that and then 2 bricks beside this. I've got 1 more mud brick going in on top of those 2 bricks, and this is where I'm going to have my first campfire. I've got a brick stair which I'll place upside down pointing towards the front, and then a granite stair on top of that right way up. Then I'll have a brick, another mud brick, and then my next campfire for the chimney on top of this one. I'm going to come inside the build now to build up the final section of the chimney. I'm going to start by placing in a granite, then a brick, then another brick. Then I'm going to have another mud brick, and we're up to adding in some stairs. To do this, I'm going to need to place in a temporary block. I'm using blue wool, but you could just use anything, including dirt. And then I'm going to come and place these stairs so that they're pointing towards the back of the build. I've got an upside down brick stair and then a right way up granite stair. And I can go ahead and remove that temporary block now. I'm going to finish off by adding in another mud brick and then a brick on top of that, and then I can add in my final campfire. Next, I'm going to come back around to the front of this chimney and add in 1 brick wall in front of the first mud brick we placed. Finally, for this chimney, I'm going to take some spruce trapdoors and surround each of my campfires. While we're up here on the roof, I'm going to grab some barrels and place them along this inside edge of the build, connecting up between the 2 gable walls. There should be a 3-block space in between them. This roof is going to be made out of tough bricks, stairs, and slabs. Let's start on the chimney side first, using some tough brick stairs. Coming one in from the end of this beam, I'm going to go all the way across the build and finish one in as well. This should be in line with these gable walls here. Let's add in another layer of these stairs. The next layer will be a layer of tough bricks first, making sure I tuck right in behind the chimney. And then a layer of stairs again. Repeat this again. And then I'm going to add one more layer of tough bricks on the very top. Leaving out this first block, I'm going to add in a slab on the second and then on every other block as well. Let's do the other side of the roof. I'm going to start again in line with this gable wall and come across like this. Just leaving out where we've got these two beams sticking out. Another layer of stairs, and then alternate between blocks and stairs. Before I get to the very top, I'm going to add in 2 waxed copper lanterns hanging from the top of the roof. Here's how it should be looking. To finish off this gable end as well as the back, we're going to use a mixture of spruce planks, shelves and stairs. I'm going to start by placing in a right way up stair here, and then a temporary block on top so I can place in an upside down stair. I'll add in 2 more temporary blocks and another upside down stair, 2 more temporary blocks and another upside down stair. And then I can place 1 more pointing towards the front. Let's do this on the other side. Now I've got my shelves, I'm going to place one on top of each of these upside down stairs. And then from the underside, I'm going to place one onto the backs of all of the shelves. Just like that. On the very center top, I'm going to add in 1 spruce plank. Let's repeat this on the back gable. If you're enjoying today's build and would like to support me further and access some additional benefits like world downloads and schematics, be sure to check out my Patreon. I'd really appreciate your support. Let's come down to the base of the build again, and we're going to work on this covered stable area. I'm going to start by placing a dark oak plank on the front post, and then a dark oak slab coming off of that. I'm then going to build 3 high with some waxed copper bars and add a slab on top of this one. I'll place in a block, and then 2 slabs, and finish with 1 more block. On this side here, on the right hand side, I'm going to build up with my waxed copper bars, and I'll build out 2 with these. So we've got a 2 wide walkway. Around to the back of the build now, I'm going to place in my spruce shelves going between the post and the wall, and then a layer of spruce trapdoors. On top of this post, I'll add in a dark oak plank and then a slab here. And then I've got 2 spruce stairs going upside down towards the build. On top of this, I'll add in a slab and a block. Then I've got 3 more spruce stairs going towards the build upside down. And I'll fill in this gap with a few more spruce trapdoors. Finally, above this, I'll add in 1 more slab and 1 more block. To the end of this gable, I'm going to use some spruce slabs to create a stepping down effect. I'm going to start by placing one on the lower level of this block and then add one going half a slab up each time. We'll finish in line with this stair here. I'm going to do this on the front of the build as well. This slab will be placed onto the bar here. There we go. Let's fill in the side wall now. just adding in 3 spruce shelves and 3 spruce trapdoors. And then I can fill in the roof with some more slabs. These are going to be placed in the same stepping fashion, 1 block below the top of the dark oak slabs. Here's how it should look. It's time to start adding in some details to this build. I'm going to begin by adding in some grindstones facing with the wooden section outwards on the 2 front sides like this, and add in some fences above. I'm then going to use some dark oak slabs underneath each of my windows, and then connecting between these outer sticking beams on the 2 front gables, so the back wall will look like this. Let's go ahead and do something similar on the front wall with our grindstones and fences and our slabs. Don't forget to add in the slabs under the other 2 windows. I'm also going to use some waxed copper trapdoors to create some window shutters beside each window. And I'm going to use dark oak shelves on the sides of these posts. In the top of the gables, I'm going to be adding in some dark oak fences as well, and then a grindstone hanging down from here, a waxed copper chain, and then a waxed copper lantern. Let's do this on the front of the build too. I'm going to add in another lantern underneath here, and then I'll place in 3 dark oak signs. Just like this, a simple decoration for this back door. For the front door, I want something a little bit more grand, so I'm going to add in some lightning rods, which I've just placed sticking out. And if I hold crouch, I can place an upside down waxed lightning rod so that this section is on the base. Then I can remove these and place them right way up. Now I'm going to create an arch with a dark oak slab in the center and then 2 stairs on either side. Coming inside the build now, I can add in my ladder up to the top story. And I'm going to walk through into this stable area now and just add some texture to the ground using a mixture of coarse dirt, rooted dirt, as well as some hay bales, which I'll place in here and there. I'm also going to stack up some hay bales in the back corner here, and add in a fence so I can put my horse over that way. Just adding in the last few details, and now I can step back and have a look at my completed build. The landscaping and finishing details are one of the important aspects to really bring a medieval build in particular to life. So let's have a look at what I've done. As for greenery, I've started by draping some azalea leaves around points of the build, including the chimney and at the base of the build, and off at the top of the large gable here and over my stables area. As you saw when we were creating, we used a mixture of materials for the base of the stable, and I've connected it up with a simple path towards a road. I've then used those same materials over in my chicken pen. You can see that for the chicken's yard itself, I've used a mixture of spruce supplies to tie in with the build. I've also added in a little nest at the back here by placing a horn coral fan on top of a bamboo trapdoor flooded with water. If I come further back, you can see that this build is placed along a big swooping road to connect it up to a town, and it also leads you over to my paddock with some horses and sheep. And once again, I've used the same spruce supplies to tie in with the build, and for the trough here, I've just simply created it using some dark oak shelves, just like we have over in our house. For a rustic medieval build like this one, I like to go with a lot of lush landscaping. So I have the trees framing the background of the build, and then I've placed in a mixture of greenery towards the front and around the sides, keeping it a little bit clear from the house so that it still stands out. And then to add a pop of color, I've added in some little crops dotted here and there. I've gone with wheat, but you could use whatever you like. So now you know how to make a cozy mini medieval house. If you enjoyed today's tutorial, I'd really appreciate it if you consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in another video. Happy building!